how's it going? Caitlin here, and welcome to my kitchen for another week of meal prep. I hope you're excited. Meal prep is a love yourself later activity because you're gonna love yourself later when you have 3 meals prepped, ready to go, just pulling them out of the fridge and throwing them together, okay? It is a magical feeling, I promise you. If you don't have your prep list, I want you to just check the description in this video and you will find a link to grab your prep list, complete with everything you need to succeed this week, okay? I do have 3 varying levels of prep depending on your level of motivation. So if you just have a little bit of time, you just do level 1. That's awesome. You're still going to be way ahead of the game. But if you want to get the time to table results you see in the meal plan, you're going to want to go all the way with me to level 3. This week's menu, we're going to have fried chicken salad, chicken pepper paninis, and hot honey pepperoni pizza. Okay, so let's go do, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. Okay, going wild. I'm going to start with level 1. I know, craziness. Unless this is your first time here, and then welcome. Usually I end up starting with things that are level 3, which is stuff that's doing itself while you're doing other things. However, today, just to keep things interesting, level 3 is a bunch of, kind of gross or weird things. So, just gonna get going on level 1. So first, just sliced up some celery. This is for our salad. I am doing the salad first this week. You can do these in any order that you want. I am doing the salad first this week just because it's got a bunch of fresh stuff, and we're chopping up the lettuce in advance, everything like that. That's just gonna make sense for me. I'm also going to be having the chicken, just making itself all soft and tender and delicious with some buttermilk. So, and I usually like to prep. I usually prep not the day before the meals. Like I will prep and I will have one of the meals tonight for supper, okay? Because that just makes my day, the way that my week is set up, a little easier. You may notice there's only 3 meals, and then you're thinking, well, what am I gonna do with the rest of the week? Honestly, whatever you wanna do with the rest of the week is the easy answer, but also the difficult answer. I will tell you what I generally do, because some days we just have other plans, right? Some days we're going over to dinner, some days we're going over to somebody else's house, and for those days, I don't need to have a meal plan. But for the days that I do need to have a meal plan, celery done. You know what? Am I not gonna? I think I might throw the carrot just in the same container just to save me some space in the fridge. But if I know I'm gonna be home all week and I gotta figure out other meals, I don't like to prep more than 3 meals ahead of time because I found just personally, I'm gonna peel and shred a carrot by the way. I found just personally, if I have more meals than that prepared, it's more likely that I'm going to have stuff that goes to waste because life will life and life will come up. So having 3 meals at a time prepared for me gives me enough peace of mind, gives me enough time saving. But what I will do for that week is I will then look and I'll just grab another meal plan. After that 3 days, I'll be like, okay, I know I want tacos. And I will literally search the website. Yes, I will search my own website. I'll go to the past recipes section and I will scroll down to tacos because I know that's what I want. And I will just see which meal plans have tacos in them. I'll click on them and if I like the look of the one, awesome. That's the prep I'm gonna do. It just cuts down. It doesn't mean you make no decisions, but it means you're making a whole lot less decisions, right? And 3 meals at a time works for me. It works for my family because it gives us still some flexibility. And I don't know, I need the flexibility. I need to, like having a meal plan makes things more efficient. It makes things easier, but I also don't want it to make me feel like we're somehow trapped. It's like if we don't have the meal tonight, that's cool, we can have it tomorrow, and then I know that tomorrow's taken care of. Hope that makes sense. Because everything needs flexibility. Goodness. and that's the thing, even like if you have kids or if you don't have kids, time is something, it's kind of like, time's like money. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've had times where I make more money or times I make less money in life, and I always feel like I have the exact same amount of disposable income. Because like, if you have the money, you'll spend the money. You'll find somewhere for the money to go. It'll be allocated somewhere. And it's the exact same thing with time. If you have time and you don't make plans for it, it evaporates. It goes somewhere, right? Like, it just kind of disappears. I'm just gonna rinse this out. I don't know, that's my thoughts, that's my experience. Maybe it's different for you, but let's see. Gonna slice up a cucumber once again for the salad. Oh, gotta put a little in this thing. So I have special containers that are built especially for my prep board, that are made for prep. So it's kind of nice because we do have dividers and stuff that come with them. You can slice your cucumber however you want. If you want to make like little half moons, you can make half moons. You want to just make slices, just make slices. I'm just making slices. And then if I want to half moon them on my plate, I can half moon them on my plate. You always get options. And then if I just want to feed my kids the cucumber slices, because for some reason, I find if I give them slices, it works better than half moon shape. And if I cut a julienne, they're not touching it. It's so weird. Kids are strange. Okay, maybe not so strange, but maybe they're actually really straightforward, and maybe that's what makes them strange to me. Because I'm like, well, whatever, a cucumber's a cucumber, and however it's cut is however it's cut. But for them, if it doesn't look like this, there's something wrong with it. It's probably some way that they're actually wired. I figure there's got to be like some kind of purpose that it serves, and where they're kids and they need protecting, it's probably a protective thing, that if it looks unfamiliar, then they shouldn't eat it, because, you know, hunter-gatherer society, they're just wandering around by themselves. They see something unfamiliar, they eat it, and then they just don't last long. So it probably has something to do with that. Okay? I think so. Makes sense to me. Okay. Get a slice of an onion. It's for the chicken and pepper paninis. So you can really, well, I mean, you can do whatever you want. If you wanted to dice them, you could dice them. The hardest little onion in the whole world to peel. Onion 1, Caitlin 0. Yeah, it's some like black weird stuff on it, so I figured give that a wash. I think by black weird stuff I mean dirt. I think it had dirt on it. I didn't want to eat the dirt. I'm sure it's good for your immune system or something like that, but today just wasn't feeling it. Figured slice up some onions, hold the dirt. Throw the peppers in with this too. macaroni and the panini together. We'll just buddy them up. So if you want a slice of extra veggies right now to go with as a side dish, I was kind of thinking it might go nicely to have with the sandwiches, just some veggies and dip on the side, nice and simple. If you want to slice up more veggies, now is definitely a time that you can do that. If you want to get things out here, might as well make the most of it. Or, you know, carry on. So, gonna chop up the most adorable, teensy tiny little head of lettuce. It's just so cute. So cute, I almost don't even want to cut it. Almost. Chop up your lettuce however you're feeling it. If you have any lettuce cutting hacks, share them. Really, I just go to town on it and try to make them into as bite-sized pieces as possible. And if they're not perfectly bite-sized, I won't beat myself up for it. It is all okay. If you are planning on waiting till later in the week to have your fried chicken salad, wait on cutting up your lettuce. It's never going to stay good very long. The last couple times I got lettuce at my local store, it was like awful. The pre-done up ones where it's like, you know, spinach, or it was spinach and arugula was the ones that I had gotten. It was supposed to be good for like another 6 days. So it should have been, you know, plenty of time that it was good. Opened the thing up like an hour later and it smelled like farts. It was disgusting. So took it back. Told the peeps at the grocery store, oh, by the way, if all you got in you is level 1, you're done. You did awesome. You did great. You are going to love yourself when you have all the things done. If you still get gas in the tank, stick around with me for level 2. We'll see what else we can get done. First one is an optional. This is an optional recipe, okay? So it's making KFC seasoning for the fried chicken sandwich. Fried chicken sandwich. Fried chicken salad. Heck, you can make it into a sandwich if you wanted to. It'd be delicious. Okay, so lettuce. Oh, the recipe's right there. Just go to town. So, told the people there, I'm like, yeah, this, I went up to customer service. The last few times I bought lettuce here, specifically this brand and whatnot, it was really bad. It was bad when I brought it home. So, like, I don't know what you guys got going on, like if it's being improperly stored, if it's something during transport, but there's something going on with your lettuce, like it's just not good. Girl just looks at me, cool. Alright, I felt like it would be a thing where it'd be like, oh, thanks for letting us know, we'll look into that. But no, I think they just thought I was the alarmist weird girl who encouraged them to smell her lettuce that smelled like farts. Okay, I didn't really encourage them to smell my lettuce that smelled like farts. I may have mentioned that it smelled like farts. I felt like that was an important thing to mention when I was returning it. I feel like if you're going to return open lettuce, you gotta return it for, you know, a reason. You can't just be like, hey, by the way, changed my mind, I don't eat leafy greens, but apparently you could just go in there and say, changed my mind, I don't like leafy greens, and that would be fine too. So, if you wanted that lesson today, there it is. There it is. I feel with like all the optional recipes this week, there are like so many things just around here, but oops. And there are enough optional things this week that you really can, if you want to, cut out a lot of the things. Like you could get pre-grated cheese. You could have pre-made pizza crust. Any of these things are fine. Making some things from scratch, especially if you have multiple sensitivities, can be a huge bonus because there might be a lot of things that you just can't have. That's kind of the story of my life. Well, not my life, like the last 9 years. But honestly, 9 years is kind of another lifetime. And if you're making this KFC seasoning, I promise it is going to last for a very long time. You can just keep it in your cupboard after you have it done. And you will have just an easy meal kind of waiting for you, which is also a lovely perk. It's nice to have that thing to be like, oh, I have no idea what I'm making for supper tonight. And then you're like, oh, got KFC seasoning. I can just throw it in the air fryer. Because it tastes like effort because obviously you put in the effort now. And then you don't have to put in the effort later. And sometimes I miss the normal things. Like, I miss being able to have KFC takeout. Like, it's the weirdly like semi-gross things that are just normal that you end up missing. Or maybe it's just like the convenience factor as well. It's like, oh, I'm hungry, and then you don't have to make a plan. You can just grab. I always tell myself, like, I'm much healthier for the food decisions that I make. And it's true, like, really, like, I could ignore every sensitivity that I had. I'd be living in misery every day, but people do that. So it's well within my rights that I could. But I choose not to because it makes more sense, better reason. You're thinking that's a lot of spices? It sure is. Craving? Worth it. And I mean, if you do a lot of your own seasoning blends, it's kind of worth it to just get big, enormous things. You can find enormous things of spices either at something like Costco or I like to just get it off of Amazon. You can find a lot of them on there. Just get jumbo sizes, buy in bulk. There we go. Then you can just, shake it up, stir it up, good to go. Can't see seasoning. Done. So if you're doing that optional thing, the optional thing is good. Okay. Let's get some cheese. Looking for the cheese that is right here, directly beside me. Oh dear. Okay. So, gonna grate some cheese for salads, gonna slice some cheese. If you're using it for the paninis, you can use any kind of cheese that you want. I'm using marble. That's what tends to work in my house. Kind of goes with anything. They're kind of our standard blocks of cheese, you know? It's like, gotta have a pizza cheese, just in case you're having pizza or pizza toast or something. Gonna cut some slices just for the paninis. Just throw it in with the same thing, whatever. Awesome. One thing of cheese ready to go. Next, let's grate up some pizza cheese. For slicing cheese, like this tomato knife is literally my favorite. My favorite knives for different things. I'm sure that's adult normal. But that one, by far, is my absolute favorite for cheese. Cuts the cheese like a favorite. I mean, it does a good job on tomato, citrus, you know, those things. But cheese, it's like a dream. I'm just gonna grate up the rest of this block, might as well. So you can, if you want to, get pre-grated cheese. There are some pizza blends. You will find that if you grate your own, you're going to have more options. You're gonna have less additives in it. Because if you've noticed, if you grate your own cheese, it can, especially if it's kind of squished down at all or packed down at all, it'll all stick together. So to avoid this, when they're doing commercial stuff, they do add additional ingredients to make sure it doesn't stick together. These additional ingredients though, aside from just the fact that they're additional ingredients, and less ingredients is usually a better thing, unless you're adding more vegetables. More vegetables is always a good call. Makes it so your cheese is not going to taste as good, and it's not going to have the same stretch and pull that you would get. So you're just getting better results if you take that extra step of processing your cheese, which does not take very long, and it also costs you less. So there's only good things that come from a DIY. There you go. Nice and easy. Okay, what else we got? Oh, yep. One quick second. So if you actually bring all of your stuff, you can put together your mayo and bell pepper herb rub, or you can just completely have run out of mayo and have a mostly empty jar sitting in the fridge with nowhere left to turn. Either one. But the good thing is I know that now and not the day of. So yes, I do not make my sauce. However, I know that I can make it the day of. So we're gonna call it a partial win. We're gonna go with it. Okay, so for that, follow the list. Don't follow me, or don't, either way. Gonna put together some hot honey. Okay, so easy enough to do yourself at home. I know you can buy hot honey places, but you know what? May as well just throw your own together. And if the idea of hot honey and pepperoni pizza doesn't work for you, just make your own pizza. Do it as a build your own pizza night. Make one that works for you. Make one that works for your partner or the kids or whatever. Just make straight up pepperoni pizza. The only rules are the rules that you make, okay? Use whatever kind of hot sauce you want. I'm going Frank's just because it's easy, it's available. It's got pretty simple ingredients, tastes good. It's got all the things I'm looking for. And you don't have to store your hot honey in the fridge. It can just be out and about. If you feel like getting fancy and adding anything else to it, I know some people will put a little bit of chili powder in it, or go wild, play with different hot sauces, go to town. The honey's fine, the hot sauce is fine. I'm just gonna leave mine out on the counter, and it can stay there until we have pizza. Or you can put it in the cupboard, you know, if you don't wanna clutter up your counter. Either way, cool. Gonna make some pizza sauce. Once again, you can just buy a jar of pizza sauce. Don't have to put your own together, but I honestly like my recipe for pizza sauce. It tastes good. I already got some tomato paste in there because I had some in the freezer, prepped from the last time. I always measure out my tomato paste frozen into tablespoons after I'm using a can, because I just often don't use a full can and have a hard time using it, so I just freeze them in little 1 tablespoon balls so that I can use them later. So little things that make life easier. And that's definitely the thing with prep. It's like, you love yourself later. It really is love yourself later. And it's not so bad when you're in the moment. It's the gearing up to do it that's the hardest part. It's like, I got so many other things I could be doing, and instead I'm just gonna make like an absolute mess of my kitchen. Yeah, you make a mess of your kitchen, but you know what? You clean up your life. It's all good. It's a trade-off. So I always make sure that I have something sweet in the sauce. You need something sweet, but then you've seen better days, haven't you, Bottle? But then adding a little bit of citrus just brings a little freshness to it as well, gives it a little zip. Awesome. Guys, if that's all you got, you did awesome. You completed level 1, you completed level 2. Got more optional things going on for level 3 as well. I'm gonna be making some croutons. If you've never made croutons, they're ridiculously easy to make, okay? I'm sure you could buy gluten-free croutons, but for all that it takes to do it, I do not know why you'd even bother, because they're just as simple. Okay, so first, step 1, cube up your bread. Nice and easy, especially if you get a nice long bread knife. So now you get your bread all cubed. You can put some oil, a little garlic in there, oil, garlic, salt, pepper. I find a little parsley tends to look good in there. I'm gonna do all the things at the same time by just throwing in some of this garlic parmesan oil. So, flavored oil is just going to do all of the things at the same time. Except do it in like literally one step. But even if you're adding other things to it, and you know what, that means you can make any flavored crouton you want. You want to make a pickle salad with pickle croutons? Go to town. There you go. So I just threw it, you can throw it in the air fryer, you can throw it in the toaster oven, you can throw it in the oven if you want to. Anything works, and that is going to be it. Those croutons are going to be done in just a few minutes. How cool is that? So good. While that's going on, I'm going to put together pizza dough. Pizza dough is good for like days and days and days in the freezer or in the fridge. If you want to save yours, if you want to make extras so that you have some for later, what the heck is in there? Then you can always double up the recipe, put half of it in the freezer. This recipe, it does freeze well, so no issues with that. If you want to, or if you're going to do 2 now because you're doing 2 pizzas, go wild. Figure it takes the exact same amount of effort to make 1 pizza dough as it does to make 2. So, or if you are just cooking for 1, another option for you If you're just cooking for one, another option is to make this whole recipe and then divide it into two, because it'll make about 2 9-inch pizzas. Then you can take one and you can divide it in two and freeze half of this single recipe, and then you will have yourself a pizza ready for you, just whenever you want it. The dough will be in the freezer, just has to thaw. If you're wondering where I got a giant bag of gluten-free flour, because I mean that's a thing of magic, right? Jamestown Mills. Jamestown Mills is where I get my flour. And it's because I really honestly despise working with the Barbie-sized bags of flour that you get at the grocery store. They drive me crazy. Plus it's a good flour. You can't buy it out and about. You gotta buy it online on their website, and it's honestly the weirdest process for buying it, because they do mostly commercial flours. They're not into doing much for just in home. So you go on their website, you basically send them a little message and they're like, hey, dude, I want some flour. And then you can literally e-transfer them. Yes, e-transfer them. Or send them your credit card. Then it shows up at your door like a week later. And I like the convenience that it just shows up as well. Man, that garlic parmesan oil smells good. If you want to add any other seasonings to your dough, go right ahead. Well, you seem a little too steamy. There, just replaced the hot, the little less hot. So I just set my timer to 5.5 minutes, and I'm gonna let that go wild. Everything's just going wild today. I feel like maybe it's just a wild day. Croutons are done. I'm just gonna let those cool before I put them away. And let's see. very last thing I'm going to do is play with some nasty chicken. I'm going to put 2 breasts into strips for the chicken and pepper paninis. And then I'm going to butterfly a couple of them for doing the fried chicken salad. So that is it. So my stand mixer does have a timer on it, so it's lovely because I don't have to then think or set a timer on anything else. And if my hands are covered in chicken, it's okay because I don't have to actually physically stop it. It's just going to, it's just going to stop when it needs to. And if you're wondering if you could do the pizza dough recipe without a stand mixer, I don't know. I'm sure you could. Like, really, like, you could do anything without a stand mixer. You just have to, like, mix your little heart out for a while. And if you are gluten-free, I do feel like a nice stand mixer is a valid investment because you're going to end up making so many things at home that having a nice stand mixer can make a world of difference. Plus, you find you can use it for like a bunch of other things too. Like, it doesn't even have to just be for baking. Like, I know you can shred meat in a stand mixer. You can mash potatoes in a stand mixer, like whip them right up. So, I don't know. You'll find other things to do with it too. And I do feel like making your own pizza dough is definitely worth it because when you're getting the gluten-free pizza dough, like the pre-made crusts, they're quite expensive and you're not getting much in them. Find you're getting a lot more out of it if you are making your own, and you can make like a real good pizza. It'll reheat well, so you can make leftovers for the next day and not just be like eating a brick. Chicken is sliced. Last thing I'm going to do is butterfly the chicken breast. So I'm using this so that I don't cut my fingers off because I am a clumsy person. I am not a natural kitchen person. Nor am I a passionate kitchen person. I am none of the things. I did not study to be a chef. That was not an accident. That was intentional. So the closing cut, it's spring loaded on each side so that it squishes down and makes 2 equal halves, and you just put a knife through, it cuts through like butter, and then you're done. It's so easy, and then it goes in the dishwasher afterwards. So I get safety, I get the added security of not cutting off my fingers, because otherwise I definitely would. I don't know, that's one of those little tools that pays dividends in my kitchen. If you are dairy free, any of those things, and you're like, well, what am I gonna do with buttermilk? Okay, I'm gonna show you. It's just this simple, okay? So, I mean, you could come up with real measurements if you really felt like it. I'm gonna put that in there, and I'm gonna say that's good enough. I did have more just in case I thought that I needed more, but I don't think I do. So you just take your milk or your milk alternative, and you throw a splash of lemon in there. And you just kind of like, just shake her up a little bit, mix the lemon in with the other. And there we go. So I'm just gonna let that sit until later tonight when I'm going to dip it into my KFC seasoning mix, and it's going to be delicious. I'm super excited. Guys, I hope you're excited. I hope you're excited for the week ahead, and I'd love to hear what you think. I always want to hear your feedback on what you like, what you don't like, all of the things. I hope to see you next week. Thanks again. Bye-bye.